Hey guys, what's going on? It's Warman1944 here, and today we're going to be talking about shell types for tanks. So, there's a few different shell types, and the first one we are going to be looking at will be APC-BC. So it's armor-piercing capped ballistic capped shell. That's a mouthful. So right here you can see the effect. So it pierces, and then after it pierces the armor, it explodes basically. So you can see it's 75mm caliber. I'm just going down by the list under the pictures there. Muzzle velocity, projectile mass, explosive type, and then explosive mass is what you want to pay attention to. So 17 grams of explosive mass. And then if you go down to armor penetration, so at 10 meters, 135 millimeters of penetration at 0 degrees. And then at 2,000 meters, 85 millimeters of penetration at 0 degrees. And then let's say we go down to the heat shell. So here you can see still same thing, 75 millimeter muzzle velocity, blah blah blah. Explosive mass is 513 grams compared to the Panzergranat 39s, which was 17 grams. Now you're like, holy shit, that's a pretty big difference. But you know, you're like, okay, I might want to use the heat, but I'll explain why you wouldn't want to compared to the Panzergranat 39. Then you got the Panzergranat 40s, and you're like, holy crap, look at the penetration. But if you look under the thing, you don't see explosive mass because there is none. All APCR does is enters the tank and puts out a little bit of shrapnel. So basically in situations like what I do is I'll take out, let's say, 20 Panzergranat 39s, which is APC BC, and then I'll take out 5 APCR shells, which is Panzergranat 40s. So if, let's say, I go up against a heavier tank that I cannot penetrate with the Panzergranat 39s, then I'll switch to Panzergranat 40s. And the reason why I do that is with the Panzergranat 39s, as soon as it penetrates the tank, most likely you'll one-shot a tank, or you will do more damage compared to this, because when it enters the tank, it just doesn't nearly do as much damage, which I will show you right now in a test drive. Alright, so our first target here is this little T-26. So now first I'm going to use APBCCB, I believe it was. And just, I'm going to shoot it. It's going to die. But watch the effect. See when it entered the tank, how it exploded? Okay, and then we're going to go over to heat, and we're going to move on to the next tank, which is the T-34 up here. And I just want to show you guys the different effects what these ammunition types have. So heat, and you can also see it's a much lower velocity. So to hit this tank, you're going to have to aim up a little bit more. That was a little bit too much. Just let it reload here real quick. So I'll aim, so I hit, and it just hit the fuel tank. It didn't really do a whole lot of damage. I'll aim up a little bit so I can actually get into the turret. When it enters the tank, see how much explosive mass it entered? Not a whole lot. So we're going to go over to APCR now. I'm actually going to show you this on the T-44 over there. Alright. So now, do you see how little shrapnel that the APCR had? So basically, to kill this T-44, we're going to need to have a lot more shots compared to it. It has a little bit of shrapnel, but not as much as it should. And then HE, I'll load up real quick. HE really never want to use, in my opinion, even on like anti-aircraft, like basically open vehicles, open top vehicles. I wouldn't use it on. Yes, it'd kill it a lot faster, but there's no point. So now, do you see, I have very little penetration. Like, it has, God, I don't even know how much. I can't even show you. I'll have to go back in the thing. But anyway, it has very little penetration. You can't really do a whole lot with it. But now we'll switch to APBC, CB or BC, whatever the heck it's called. And I'll shoot this KV2. And there, one shot. You see the shrapnel? It's just a completely different use. Okay, that was a bad shot. But anyway, that's really the whole point of these shells. APCR you only want to use on heavily armored targets where you can't kill with APBC and heat. I don't really use, I mean you can use it, it's just not as effective as APBC in my opinion, of course. Yeah, so we'll go back in the hangar and I'll go through HE. Alright, so HE. So it only has 10 millimeters of penetration, but it has 686 grams of explosive mass. So basically you cannot penetrate jack all at its BR, unless it's like an open-topped AA, for example. Go over to 3.3, perfect example. If you shoot an HE at this thing, you hit here or underneath it, this thing's just gonna die because it has literally like no armor, especially at the front. But if you hit here, it'll probably hull break. You hit here, it'll definitely hull break. Here, it'll just kill everyone. Like, it's just, you know. But I personally wouldn't use it because if you can kill everyone with a machine gun, so why would you use a main shell? So it's all preference there. Some other ammo types here we can look at. Let's go into KPZ. So go into modifications. And this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go over to my T55 over here. So here's a few other different shell types. Now you lower tier players aren't going to have to worry about these until you get up to a higher BR. So you've got APDS, which is a really good round when it was introduced. It kind of got nerfed a little bit. It's really good at British like lower tier vehicles. Not lower tier, but like I think it's like 5.7 or something is where they start. Really good, really good shell for lower BRs when you get it. It doesn't have a lot of explosive mass. Well, I guess in the shell does 4.1 kilograms, but when it enters, it shrapnel's pretty damn good, and it has high penetration, as you can see there. Smoke shells, you can't kill anything with it. You just basically, use it to get around the battlefield and hide. And APCBC again, for top tier, you basically don't want to use a shell unless you get to the side of a tank. Other than that, you can't penetrate anything unless you get really lucky. And then APFSDS. This is the main thing that everyone's using for top tier. It's a very nice shell. It has pretty good shrapnel, high velocity, high penetration. It's wonderful. And then you've got Heat FS, which has higher penetration and it's okay for shrapnel, but the APFSDS, it has much better penetration not much better penetration, but much better shrapnel and killing power over the Heat FS. And also, your armor, like, crap, wrong button here real quick. Armor like composite will pretty well stop peat shells. Then you've got ATGM. So these are a little bit different. This is anti-tank guided missile. So basically you shoot it, and some are key guided. So it's WASD, and others are mouse guided. So you just move your mouse around, and the ATGM will follow it. So they're pretty fun to use. You can hide behind hills and whatnot, shoot up, and then aim down, and you can shoot like helicopters and whatnot out of the sky, and it's very good thing. It's again, this is like only special opportunities I would use. So what I normally take out is I take out about 12 APFSDS shells, I take about 3 ATGMs, and I take 3 APCBC shells. And that it has a variety, so you can use them for different situations and whatnot. But anyways, that concludes this video. I hope it helped you guys out a little bit with what shell types to use, because I know a lot of new players don't really know what they're doing, use APCR, which is kind of a big mistake. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it down in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video.